fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and I resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
What people do in no money, what they at you in no at you. Covid money, miss away in the yellow correct you. Use the youth, the money, waste a must a man to statue. Say me like a catch you, but they got in a figure you. Take the spit of money, God and say that is not you. One day the man above end up in my gut up. Too much it in the kitchen, some a fly by like a patu. The singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me.
300% raise.
It burn me.
Garbage pile up the day.
It burn me.
Give the teacher them raise.
It burn me.
I see corruption face.
It burn me.
Mash down the people them house.
It burn me.
Every day appear arms out.
It burn me.
Appear money them a thief.
It burn me.
And them a sell out the beach.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and I resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
For me say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me know me got bigger. The urgent the promises, none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth, the rap and they down in our fever. Member bowl only and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start like thief when them sell.
It burn me.
Or they treat the market man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the cat man.
It burn me.
Or they treat the peanut man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the dirt man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the son man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat policeman.
It burn me.
How them a treat soldier man.
It burn me.
How them a treat everyone.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again.
Stibby dim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend be no cape. And some informer friend we love lake. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for. We in Global TV, check it.
Good evening, and welcome to the People's Point of View on the Global Television Group on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Thank you all very much for joining. To my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good evening, everyone. May I very blurry, quiet blurry. Good evening, everyone. Me know so no there. Good evening. We're gonna pick up on a few issues. But first, I want to say to you, Zara Burton has written an article which came out today, 18 degrees north, you know that. Titled, The Appointment of Dr. Nigel Clark to the IMF, Ability or Reward. Because my eyes are very blurry tonight, I won't be able to read that article for you. But in all the description areas and whatever platform you're on, the article is linked in the description area. You can just hit the link when the live is finished and have a read of the article yourself. But in my understanding, based on what Ms. Burton wrote, she was asking the question, was Dr. Clark chosen on his ability based on how he has performed as the Ministry of Finance for Jamaica and the so said by the international papers turnaround of the Jamaican economy, as opposed to being rewarded because Dr. Nigel Clark has implemented some cruel austerity policy on the Jamaican people, despite of what they're telling you about the economy, strangulating the Jamaican economy and the Jamaican people. So was Dr. Nigel Clark awarded because of his ability and his performance, based on his performance? Or was Dr. Nigel Clark rewarded based on his obedience to his masters? Please do read that article for yourself. I've done a show on this today. I'm not going to go pretty much over it again, the new immigration rules and what it means for Jamaica, because the Observer did a piece about it, and I'm not sure if the Observer quite understood what the changes meant. Because the Observer said here, the United Kingdom on Tuesday set out new implementation dates for its electronic travel authorization scheme, a major step towards delivering plan to digitize the UK border and immigration system. This now means, this is the paragraph that concerns me. This now means that everyone wishing to travel to the UK, except British and Irish citizens, will need a permission to travel in advance to visit the country. The second paragraph, it's not quite correct based on the wording of the Home Office document. I've done a show on it today, the Drive Time London show. I did an explanation to that. I won't go back over that tonight. So if you want to understand the new immigration changes and what it means, I suggest you watch our Drive Time London show that was done today. And this is the thumbnail. Hold on. This is the thumbnail that you would see for that live on Global TV Studio. I've done the explanation to that today, but it doesn't apply to everyone. There's countries that it applies to, and country it does not apply to, because that the electronic travel authorization can be used instead of a visa. However, Jamaica is not included in that at the moment. So Jamaicans are still subjected to use going through the visa application process. But as I say, I'm not going to go through that because I've done it today. There's a show on it on Global TV Studios, Drive Time London, that was done today. So if you want to understand what the new changes are, what they mean, and which country they apply to, then I suggest you watch the live I did today on Global TV Studio 358. Moving on. Scoville Blake, the parish manager of the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, St. James Parish Office, believe that Jamaican young people should be given more avenues to access information on their culture, including icons like Miss Lou Cloverly, Bennett Cloverly. They spoke with the Gleaner on Monday following the official launch of the 2024 Miss Lou exhibition at the St. James Parish Library in Montego Bay. There needs to be an overhaul in our colonial education system, a complete overhaul. But yes, particularly in the way we teach history. We need to throw away the history of Churchill, Queen this, Queen that, Viking this, Lord that, Lord this, and teach of ourselves the glorious history of Black people before slavery, the great inventions of Black people, even during slavery and under the greatest oppression. So we need a complete overhaul of an inherited colonial education, which has not really served us, has not served our economic or social interests, only serve the plantation wheel, does it not? So we need a complete overhaul. And successive governments on both sides of the coin, nor either the current government in place at the moment, none has ever take up the mantle and say, we need to chip away the barks of slavery. Because until we change our education system, we won't be able to chip away the barks of slavery and colonization, will we? The education system we have didn't do a lot of great for us socially and economically. And in its failing, dilapidated state, I really don't expect a lot going forward based on how it is now and the trajectory for the next 10, 20 years. It really looks scary. Scary as hell. And we continue with this story because there's twists and turns in it, you know. There are twists and turns to this story, but we will continue to follow it because the blame game, Jamaica, is being thrown left, right, and center.
The single ambulance that is at Cornwall Regional is not available. And for them to call a private ambulance, the person on the phone has to approve the payment of $400 US. They have to confirm that it's okay for them to call the ambulance and noting the payment of $400 US. So I said, we have to wait for them to do that to get help for the man. The man need help. The man, I saw the man gap. I've never seen somebody gap or what they call it catch breath in my entire life. First time I'm seeing that. Right? And the man was gapping. Right? And the man was saying, so I said, why you need to tell them that? Why you need to get $400 or to confirm that then we pay $400 before you call that? You understand? So that is stupid. So the nurse was saying if they can't get the ambulance, then they'll get the taxi. Miss, get the taxi. I'll pay the money for him. I'll pay the taxi. Get the taxi. Get the taxi. You understand? So they tried to let me know that it's protocol and they have to get the approval from the family member to call to call the ambulance, to call the private taxi, which will cost $400 US. The man at the airport waiting and ready to go back to America, taking JetBlue, right? And he would have paid his fare to go on the flight. So I'm saying, could not JetBlue or even the airport take that cost? They have to depend, or they have to wait until a family member says that it's okay to go ahead and call the ambulance. Single.
All right. Montego Bay denied a $400 argument. I wonder if nobody are going to deny the nephew argument. So why don't you carry the dead man to the morgue? You know, search him bag, him pocket, him suitcase, everything. You know, just a rummage through so. You know, just a rummage through. You stole from the dead man. You robbed Jamaica, a lifeless man. As a country, we are responsible. As a country, we are responsible. We've killed the man, Jamaica. And then we turn around and we rob a dead man. We rob a dead man of his possession. After killing him under the glare of camera in public, we turn around and we rummage our way Jamaica to a dead man's pocket. What a lala. It gets worse, Sarah, because the blame game continues to throw around. Because a Jamaica that cannot accept its failures or its wrongdoing have no time of coming to reality, of acceptance. So we're not going to change for now. Dr. Pushbroom says, Dr. Pushbroom is accusing the operators of Sangster's International Airport of attempting to shift blame amid ongoing criticism of the handling of last week's incident, of which 71-year-old Leroy Smith collapsed during check-in and died on the floor amid failed attempts to get him transportation to hospital for medical treatment. Somebody hold me this evening. Oh, somebody hold me this evening. Did you hear what Dr. Tufton says? Dr. Tufton, Minister Pushbroom, because if Everett Warmington have to clean the hog pen out, him need a Pushbroom, does he not, Dr. Tufton? Dr. Pushbroom says Montego Bay. Hey, Jesus, somebody hold me. Answer this question, please. Is Montego Bay Airport run by the government or is it a private sector organization? Help me, please. Don't help me fast and I lose it. Oops, there's it. I'm losing it. Help me fast. Is Montego Bay Airport run and owned by the government or by private sector. Because Dr. Tufton said the operators at Montego Bay are shifting the blame. But who, Dr. Tufton? It is private. Do you know who owns it? Operated by Mexicans. But a private operator in our country is not under a duty to provide emergency service. That's not an operator's job. They don't have to have ambulance base at Montego Bay Airport. They can have a medical facility or medical staff. They don't have to have ambulance base. This is a national health crisis, Dr. Tufton. Who do you think is to be blamed when we cannot call an ambulance and there is one available, Dr. Tufton? Who do you think should be blamed? Who do you think should be blamed? So if him never drop down an airport and him can't get an ambulance, who are we going to blame? Dr. Pushbroom for the inadequacies in our health care? So how the shifting blame? Dr. Pushbroom. How does it work here? Because this blame goes to successive government and our current Minister of Health, who's been in office for 8 years and have not seen the need, even after repeated calls, to put such service in place. So what Sangster International Airport did for do? If Jamaica Health Service cannot provide an ambulance, what did you expect them to do? Yes, they could have taken the price for the private ambulance. I admit that doesn't solve the problem. It really doesn't. We can jump down anyway in a Jamaica and require an ambulance. We have accidents regular in Jamaica and we don't have an ambulance. This has nothing to do with Montego Bay Airport. This is a failed national health service. Absolutely no blame here for Montego Bay Airport. There's a human blame for Montego Bay Airport. Don't get it twisted. There is a human blame for Montego Bay Airport, but a systematic blame, a systematic blame is the failure of successive governments. And this current government, which has been there for 8 years, with a bunch of failure. Brenda, I give them the human blame. But this scenario, Brenda, let's look at it on the broader issue outside of the airport. This could happen anywhere in Jamaica and turn out the very much same. Yes, this passenger highlights the grave issue as it is and how much we're at risk wherever we are in the country from various sources. There is a systematic failure here. There's a human blame for the air in its unfolding state was handled. The systematic failure, though, as to why it turned out to this, is a failure of our healthcare because we do not have adequate ambulance, fire service, police service to call on when we are in those type of emergency, there is a major systematic failure. Of course, there is a human failure in how the incident was treated. But broaden it, trust me, Brenda, afraid bad. Afraid bad because the human spirit is lost, the human emotion is lost, services are depleting. So things just a ruckle-tuckle and a tumble and a go down over the cliff. So, but there's massive failure here. The failure is glaring. This could occur anywhere on the island, and the turnout is pretty much the same. I am sure this has happened several times across the country, but never gets the attention because it happened in our national airport. I'm sure we all know just the other day, the woman with them steal her medication and she died in hospital after them steal our medication where children buy, where the hospital couldn't provide her. Massive systematic failures. That is killing us off as well. The failure of having proper ambulance and first aid care when we have an accident in the country. People either bleed out, people stay on scene and suffer for once, or the way they've been creeped up and thrown in the back of a van or a car and try to get them off to hospital for rescue. It further damages them, i.e. rupturing their spinal cords and things like that, which leaves some people in a vegetated stage. Systematic failure. How much time we see police shot victim? A police in America or England or a developed country ain't gonna shot a victim and throw them in the back of a police car and drive them to hospital. No, that police is under duty to get the ambulance there immediately. But we don't have that giant up system in our country. We don't have any form of reliable emergency service. How much time when I call police and police telling us say them don't have a vehicle broke down or vehicle gone out, or one them have any gone out, gone work. It's across the board. It's a systematic failure when it comes to our emergency services. It is a systematic failure across the board, and it threatens our life. If we host a burn down, we don't have adequate fire service. If somebody a kill we don't have adequate police to call. If we are dead overnight, we don't have adequate ambulance for call to come carry the hospital. It's a systematic failure when it comes to emergency service. It's a failure. And these are the things why Jamaicans must take their vote seriously. And when they go to the poll, they make sure they know why they are voting.
I need you to travel with me this morning. Use a little bit of imagination. We're going to go 1 year into the future. January 2026. And we're looking at an election that didn't go our way. And here I am trying to justify to myself and my peers why I didn't vote. The name of this piece is I Didn't Vote. I didn't vote, and now my outspoken activist son is locked up. I didn't vote, and now my daughter has no options if she gets knocked up. I didn't vote because it was my right and my choice. I didn't vote, and now I find that I have no voice. I didn't vote. I chose to be a spectator. I didn't vote, and now I wake up to live under a dictator. I didn't vote because so many of my neighborhood said it didn't matter. I didn't vote listening to some of the rappers and all their negative chatter. I didn't vote, and I can't believe some of the racist idiots that have been appointed. I didn't vote, and in my spirit, I feel my ancestors are so disappointed. I didn't vote, and that really wasn't cool. I didn't vote, and now I realize I've been played for a fool. I didn't vote, and to all those civil rights warriors, that was a sign of disrespect. I didn't vote, and now my children and grandchildren will feel the negative effect. I didn't vote because I didn't realize how much was at stake that day. I didn't vote, and now watching our freedoms and rights being taken away. I didn't vote, and I can't believe there were so many others like me. None of us could imagine how bleak our future could be. I didn't vote because I never thought Project 2025 would be enacted. I didn't vote, and now watching the history of our nation be totally redacted. Brothers and sisters, make no mistake, we are under attack. Some of these sick folks are serious about taking their country back. Now I've been to the future, and for us it doesn't look good. I don't care if you live in the penthouse, the burbs, or even the hood. Now I'm back to 2024, and like a Jehovah's Witness, I'm gonna get in the streets and knock on every door. Now we just watch our athletes go to Paris on their mission, and they did their part. Make it your mission to get to the polls and vote for the person that has your best interests at heart. Thank
In the case of Jamaica, we sell our vote, and now our MPs are telling us, we don't owe you nothing. We pay for our votes. This is our reality. Until we understand the power of our vote, respect the power of our vote, use the power of our vote to protect the next generation, nothing will change in our politics. As long as our politician can come along, manipulate us, or buy our votes, they really will not have to do anything. They really will not have to work hard for it. They can just sit around, steal a lot of money, pile it up, and come around election season and buy their votes. It's a business transaction, Jamaica. If I pay you for a loaf of bread today, I cannot come back to you when my loaf of bread is finished and say, remember that loaf of bread you paid me for, I paid you for. That loaf is finished. That's the way you're using your vote, Jamaica. That is the way you're using your vote. The business transaction between you and your political representative is a business transaction. Your politicians, your MPs and your councils, after buying your votes, they owe you nothing. It was a business transaction. The business is done. If you need something, you'll have to wait for another 5 years. This 5-year period, you've sold your rights very cheap. I mean, not even a night dinner. Very cheap. That's where we are, Jamaica. That's why we are where we are. Because we use our power, Jamaica, in favor of propping up others whose interest is to prop themselves up. So tell Dr. Tufton, the Jamaica Labour Party, the People's National Party, the failure was not just only Montego Bay Airport. It's a failure for successive government to develop our health care, to make sure we have adequate and meaningful emergency services. Mhm. Oh, as I said, if those of you who may have just arrived, there are new changes to the UK immigration rules. The second paragraph in what the liad name, the observer, the reporting is not quite how it works. I've done a show on that today on Global TV Studio, explaining the new immigration rules, what it means, the countries that it applies to, and when it will applies. If you want to keep yourself up to date with that, I suggest you go back and watch that show, that the Drive Time London show for today on Global TV Studio, because we did a show on the new rules today. But Jamaica, the new rules doesn't apply to Jamaica. This new electronic thingy they are talking about, we still have to apply for visa. So they this would kind of similar to a visa waiver where you don't have to go through the visa process. But as I explained in today's show, there's a catch-22 to this. If you applied, it only costs £10 to apply. It gives you right to travel to the UK, but that is subjected to immigration approval when you get to London or in the United Kingdom. So it's similar to when you used to come on the invitation thingy and you go through all of that processing at the airport. But in this point, you wouldn't need the invitation, because once you've done the application and you've been approved for the electronic travel authorization, then it is valid for 2 years. And you can travel in and out of the UK and multiple entry as often as you want in the 2 years, but you cannot spend more than 6 months per visit. That doesn't apply to Jamaica, though. You would guess why anyway. But it's a similar thing in Canada the other day when Canada was lifting immigration restriction for many countries. Jamaica was exempt out of it. It's pretty much the same. We're going to have to continue to go through the lengthy or expensive visa process. However, if you use that document, the electronic authorization, when you come to the airport, if you cannot prove to the immigration that I have adequate amount of money or I have a sponsor that is going to sponsor my time here, or I have a booked hotel, or I'm staying with XY person, then you could be turned back at the airport, similar to what the old system was before we start using visa. So there's a catch-22. It's a bit cheaper on the visa front, but you're still going to pay the expenses. But once, I imagine, you can prove the other documentation, such as the accommodation and the finances for the time you will be in the country, then one would be admitted into the country. To answer your question, Deb, the channel is Global TV, hold on, Global TV 358 Studio. Let me see if I can copy the link for today's show and pin it in the top of the chat. Hold on, the people. At certain time, the sinus become black. Bear with me. My sinus is blocked. Never mind, it's soon clear up. Me have my Alba style when me ready, me go smell some of it. Hold on, my eye fuzzy. Mm. Hold on, no, listen, no, get to the. No worry, no mind the old soul. I'll get round to it. Connection is very good. I'll get round to it. And when we did put it to the Lord have his mercy. No worry, me I gotta find it. Sometime a fool, but I saw it though. Sometime a fool, but I saw it go. Hold on, coming up. Seat here. We are going to copy the link and put it in here. Hold on. Let me go over and pin it in the top of the chat now. Didn't I put it in the right chat? No, sir. Hold on there. You're all coming up, pop up in a day. Another thing here, so yet. It soon pop up when we can't get to pin it. Why on earth? This thing is playing around. But and time I pin things from this channel. Hold on. Gosh. Wanna bear with me. And then do it the right way. I want me pin it in a global TV. No, me pin it in a studio TV. Me need to pin it in a. Sorry, me pin it in a the wrong channel. Let me come over and pin it in a producer way. I just want me to pin it. Sorry. Me pin it over Global TV Studios. Give me a second. Right, it ought to come over now. Here it is. Right, that's the link to today's show that I've explained the new immigration rules. So if anyone is interested in catching up with the new immigration rules for the UK and what it means, and possibly why it does not apply to Jamaica, maybe because of our behavior or jug mule bangarang and all of the other galangin. So, do we have anything else on our slide to discuss? Yes. Rio defends policy of the student block from work placement because of hairstyle. I mean, the tourist industry sell themselves on Bob Marley and Rastafarianism. But it's time for freedom of expression to be clarified in our constitution. It is there, but it's not respected by our institutions, is it? Because if black people in a Jamaica, I go tell say you are subjected to brouhaha because of your hairstyle and our culture. We have just had a ruling the other day from the appeals court with regards to the young lady that St. Kensington Primary blocked from education because of her dreadlocks. We remember the Nzinga story going all the way back to Carroll Gardens. It's a continuous oppression of freedom of choice and expression. Isn't it time that our constitution protects our freedom of expression? Or anybody can just look pan with so and say, fit fiaso. Beat and teach, you don't say me don't mention them. Me not call their name. Me not get in the pocketries with them. You ever hear want something named media blackout yet? Beat and teach, media blackout. We not talk about the things where them want if it don't talk about. Because the Prime Minister knows say after we done with here, thief in Sharon Burke, go pay the people them money. You have Andrew thief alike. I wonder if Andrew had a bank account and your name Sharon Burke. I wonder if Andrew had a name in your bank account. But Andrew, we still want to know about the account. We can hurry up and come back to Parliament. Crack down a morning. We don't have to stretch it out till the 17th. We want to know now. You're eager. You can't sleep at night time. And your wholeness. Your mama must can't sleep at night time for hear say she get involved in the crime and her name a broadcast all across the world. Which man get their mama involved in a crime? I mean, those gangsters. Spanish gangster. In it, Prime Minister? It's only some Spanish town gangster would really draw them mama in a them criminal behavior. Talk truth if I like me, I tell. Mr. Holner. Talk truth if I like me, I tell. When some man will get them papa involved in their crime, they now get them mama involved in there. Andrew. They may have something Andrew Holness. A careless boy galangin. But then again, I know you same Andrew, the drawing your picnic them in the teeth in ring, even before them become adult, Andrew Holness. So I think what you do regular, you get a kicks out of stealing. You have to get a kicks out of stealing. Your name can't call upon thief and so. Everybody around you can't thief so. Too much people around you can't get disciplinary for thief and so. Good God Almighty. One somebody can't thief so. 2022. referred to for prosecution for thieving. 2024, referred to for prosecution for thieving. The fact that Keisha did it and a block the prosecution, them Angela means say you're not thief. Hmm? We catch you with long bag. All when you give your mama the account and the gun and the bullets to hide under her bosom, Andrew, we find it. Hmm? We find it all when your mama carry the gun and the bank account in her bosom for your prime minister. We find it. Yes. So we want to know, make case come tell about the stolen goods. Because we want to see if the propaganda with the big frog face old grandma over there, so, and the little back row, the girl, George Davis, and them modern day broadcasting skettle, those sellers, because I pay the whole lot to get paid now. So now back row journalists. Journalists on your knees, picking pockets and kissing boots and licking toes and all that shit, isn't it? Because the type of propaganda that you all get paid to spout for this Jamaica Labour Party, crooked, corrupt, stealing, knife wielding, gun slinging, looting and shooting government, bunch of thieves and criminals and wrong'uns. Yes, you all took a price to spread propaganda like we're fools. We are so fools that on a little veil, vain propaganda, on a propaganda that have nothing of substance attached to it, on a come out here with. Backstreet journalists. Selling yourself cheap. You know, like some of these voters who quickly lay down as soon as the man hand go in their pocket. You dare not to wait to see how much him come up with. You only need to see him dip him hand in their pocket. You bunch of sellouts. Call on yourself journalists. And then you all want to throw slurs at us. Look at you. You think Andrew can tell me what to broadcast? You think a man who him, his wife, his mother, and his children are thieves and money swindlers and washers and rinsers could tell me what to broadcast? And I beg Andrew nothing. Me not beg Andrew nothing. One of him father. Which one of your father? When you say him father, which one of him father name the account in Bramwell or Wholeness? We need clarity on that. We definitely need clarity on that. Which one of the pooper? A criminal man with a criminal mindset, with criminal actions in his governance. Your governance, Andrew Wholeness, has been marked by corruption, stealing, misappropriation, fraud, hands in the kitty bag like Dalrymple, building multi-million apartment out of it like your wife, buying properties upon properties upon properties out of it like you, criminally aligned like Babsy and James Roberts, rapists like Darrell Vaz and Bobby Montague. A bunch of wrong'uns. That's what you all are. A bloody bunch of wrong'uns. Nothing good about you all. I wouldn't pay a penny for you. I mean, if they asked me to buy you, I'd rather buy petrol DOS off some of you. Hmm? Not worthy of putting a hog pen, not even to clean it, or not even for my pigs to shit on. Some of you politicians. Wanna figure hell in a hand cat, like literally to hell in a hand cat. Hmm? If a me, the murderer Darrell, yes, we missed the murder part, Darrell. Because we have the 2-in-1 murderer and rapist. Ask Diane Simmet, Darrell Vaz. How much others have you done the same thing to Darrell? Hmm? And Flight Green, who are walking, swap laptop for front. You're a bunch of wrong'uns, aren't you? Hmm? Bunch of wrong'uns. But they all call you all honorable, isn't it? Lord Jesus, honorable. Hmm? Tell Dana to go wash her hair. I don't know if you go do. Don't make me go South Pound tonight like Bev. Hmm? If this crooked government go for make I go South on them tonight, hellfire catch you before you even get to the devil's gate. Hmm? Before you get to the devil's gate, hellfire start catch you. So don't even make me start pounding tonight. Because no wordy, you know. No, don't wordy. I mean, cleaning a hog pen or hog shit in pound, that's the best we could use on a fiddle. Look at our country. If you want to know on a useless, look at our country. If you want no uselessness, if you want no worthlessness, look at our country. But when they came as knight in shining armor, Mother Teresa, savior of the poor and needy. Look at what you all have done to us. Hmm? Look at what you all have done to us. When you not sell we out to the wicked white people, them, or not chain we as industrialized, and as Abraham Ture refers to it, salon slaves for the white industrial plantation. How much more are going to do to it? Talk to it. Hmm? How much more are going to do to it? Will if food do to it, no murder it, no rape we, no kill we, no thief we, no torture we. You have done all manner of evil to us. What else are not going to do with we? Talk to. What was that? Hmm? What was that not can do with it? Have you all not done your worst? Hmm? Look at your track record. Have you all not done your very worst? Look at your track record. Tell me how proud all of you are as leaders, past and present, of your track record. Haven't you done your very worst to us? But aren't you, the people of Jamaica, fed up of the very worst that they can offer? And do you, the people of Jamaica, think that the only thing you deserve is their very worst? Sometimes I feel like me want mad. I mean, good mad, run up and down pan road, tear off my clothes and tear out my hair. Because everything is really about the very worst. Thank you for being here with us tonight on the People's Point of View. Join us back tomorrow for a full broadcast, when we will look at the issues in our country, except for the distractions over there that they want us to focus on, that we are not going to even look sideways at. It's just not happening. Thank you and good night from Global Television.